What's up, guys? eHero Evan here, bringing you my most updated hero deck profile for January 2017. I haven't really been playing a lot of this game recently, so I haven't been playing this deck recently as a result. So most of the changes I make have mainly been based off completely theory alone, with barely little testing. But anyway, let's just get onto this deck profile. Also, I'm trying out a new recording setup, so if you like it or if you don't like it, please tell me in the comment section below. Anyway, 3 Shadow Mist because he gets you to Dark Law fast, and Dark Law pretty much wins against most matchups if you go first. 3 Bubble Man since he gets you to most of your Exceed, specifically Tropics Rafflesia and Bahamut Shark. 3 Team Goldfish because of the addition of Bahamut Sharks to this deck. Gobbleberg isn't needed anymore, so as a result you just play 3 Tingled Fish to accelerate Dark Claw plays with Shadow Mist and to accelerate Bahamut Shark plays, or just X-Y-Z plays in general. For the last 2 monsters of the deck, I played 2 Summoner Monk. I kind of been debating putting this thing down to 1 since I haven't really been liking it too much recently, but he's still good for making it a quick Exceed or making it a quick Dark Claw. And that's it for the monster lineup. For the spells, there are 3 Hero Lives. It's still my least favorite card in the deck, but you need 3 to accelerate into Dark Law as fast as you can. Or it could also get you into a Bubble Man if you need to. 3 E-Call just to add your Shadow Mist or your Bubble Man to hands for a quick X-Y-Z play, or if you have Mass Change in hands, or anything like that. The 1 Rotor just to search out the heroes once again. Then there's 3 Mass Changes to get you into Dark Law or Anki. I don't play Acid anymore, but I'll get into that later. Now I'm doing triple Instant Fusion, since you need to see as soon as possible, and I'm also playing the Rare Fish now, to help make Instant Fusion dead less of the time. Triple MST, I'm trying this out over Cosmic Cyclone and Twin Twister for the moment. This over Twin Twister, since I don't like the discard at all for a Twin Twister in this deck. I've been on the fence about this switch for a while now, and I'm finally deciding to do it now. I was maining triple Cosmic Cyclone for a while as well, but the life point cost really got to me at times, since you're already paying a lot of life points with this deck. So I threw this in the side for now for some specific matchups. And the thing I like about MST more than Cosmic Cyclone is that if you're losing against Vanity's Emptiness, you don't have to directly target the Emptiness like you would have to with the Cosmic Cyclone. Then there's the one with Geki. I've seen a lot of hero deck lists recently either side this card or just not play it. I don't agree with that at all, because this card with Dark Law is still just a nuke. For the next 2 spells, there's 1 Forbidden Chalice and 1 Book of Moon. Normally these 2 cards would usually and probably should be 2 Book of Eclipse, but I don't like Book of Eclipse all too much in this deck anymore. Like, Book of Eclipse is really good for when you go second, which is what this deck struggles with the most, going second. But the thing is, if you drop Book of Eclipse and you go first, it's not really too good if you make Dark Law, since, yeah, you could stop the play, but if you flip your own Dark Law face down, it won't even get flipped up during the end phase to plus off their draw. So, I don't like Book of Eclipse too much, although it doesn't target, so that makes it really good. The things I like about Book of Moon and Book of Eclipse is that they can just target one specific thing that's being a problem. It's like just a 1 Vanity's Fiend or just a 1 Majesty's Fiend or whatever. Book of Moon in specific I like more than Book of Eclipse, because it's also really good going first. Since if you open Dark Law and Book of Eclipse, if you open Dark Law and Book of Moon, then it's really good. Same thing for Forbidden Chalice, since, like Book of Moon, is also really good to just set turn 1, or to just draw into going second to stop, like a Tropics Rafflesia, for example, or, as I said before, Vanity's Fiend, or like a Jag and a Fossil Dino, or Bear Statue, or whatever. I just think these have more flexibility than Book of Eclipse. Book of Eclipse is also really good, I just don't like it as much anymore. Then for the last 2 spells, Pot of Desires and Upstart Goblin. The Upstart would be a second Pot of Desires if I had one, but money is kind of a thing. This is a 41 card deck, and I'm still playing the Upstar Goblin. Pretty much only because it's just a blank card you can banish off of Pot of Desires, and it's a free side out as well. And I've never had a problem with 41 cards in this deck before. In fact, I even played 41, maybe even 42 before Pot of Desires, so it doesn't bother me at all. The deck's still super consistent. And that's it for the spells. Onto the traps. Bottomless Trap Hole for Rafflesia. Sorry about that, the camera almost fell. So Bottomless Trap Hole, 2 Floodgate. I think this is probably the best trap hole at the moment, since you could just hit a big pendulum summon. And that's pretty much it. Just flip things face down, make things easier to beat over. And it's the trap form a Pot of Eclipse pretty much. Trap form a Book of Eclipse. I'm also back to 1 Treacherous. This used to be a trap hole nightmare. But I just like the turn 1 option of just being able to dump Treacherous to get rid of 2 problem things immediately. It's also a really easy side out against most matchups going second, and also going first even. Then there's 2 Quickie Mirror Forces. This is super good in the mirrors, really good against ABC. Pretty cool against Paleo. It's just a pretty good card overall. These things might be cut eventually. These are the 2 things in the main deck that are the closest to being cut for other things. Because while these things are still really good, they suck going second. So you usually side them out going second. Then for the rest of the traps, 2 Solemn Strike and Solemn Warning. I'm not playing Triple Strike. I do have a 3rd strike, but I'm not playing it because I don't want to pay too many life points in a deck that wants to pay half its life points turn 1, then 1,000 as well, bring you down to 3,000 on turn 1. Life point cost is really painful for this deck. For the extra deck, there's the 2 Darklaw, since Darklaw one-sided Macrocosmos punishes searching. It's really good. Just wish it had more attack, and it wins by itself turn 1 against most of the meta if they don't have an answer. Then 1 Anki, since he just beats over things and grabs Mass Change for OTK plays. I'm not playing Acid anymore, since I don't think Acid's too good right now. Most of the traps in the current meta deal with Acid. Either Dimensional Barrier to call fusions, Mass Change ends up getting strikes, or Acid ends up getting Solemn Struck. Or they just emptiness the Mass Change. So Acid, while I could force them to bait something, you're never going to resolve it in the current meta. It pains me to say that, but it's kind of true. Then for the rest of the fusions, I'm playing Norden and Rare Fish. I'm so glad I got this Rare Fish in the mail yesterday. But I was still doing triple fusion with the 1 Norden, but the 1 Rare Fish makes it a little safer, since now you don't have to recycle Norden immediately through Totally Awesome or through Digestive Emerald, which I do still play since I like it a lot. And also Rare Fish, you could just summon, you could just summon it off of Digestive Emerald if Instant Fusion is a fusion summon. Then after you go through Rare Fish, you can special summon it back with Digestive Emerald's other effect. If it's not a fusion summon from Instant Fusion though, then you can't, then I'm a massive liar. Anyway, continuing. The 2 Utopia, since you just gotta beat over stuff. Then there's the 2 Bahamut Sharks, which summon the 2 Totally Awesomes. You never really want to summon Totally Awesome though, if you don't have any protection for it. So in most cases, even if I have Darklaw and the 2 waters to make Bahamut Shark turn 1, if I don't have any relevant traps, I would usually just make Trap Chicks Rafflesia instead, which can help protect Darklaw by setting the trap holes to protect it from big monsters or just problematic monsters with effects in general. But if I can do Darklaw, Rafflesia, Bahamut Shark, Truto, then that's always super good. But Rafflesia, I think, is still the first GOAT to exceed monster instead of Bahamut Shark in most cases. For the extra deck for the last 3 cards, the Digestive Emerald. Most players either play the what's the name of it? Either Gagaga Samurai or number 37 Hope Roven Dragon Spider Shark over this. But I just like recycling Bubble Mans immediately since I go through them so fast. Then the one Abyss Dweller, since he's really good against Paleo, decent in the mirror, decent against ABCs. I've never played against Metal Foe, but I'm pretty sure he could be decent against Metal Foe to stop the graveyard effects of the traps. And for the last card, you may think it's Castel, but nope, it's Carnogorgon. I ended up cutting Castel for Carnogorgon earlier today, in fact. The reason why is because Castel I personally don't think is all too great right now, since he suffers from the same weaknesses as Acid do. Yeah, he usually baits a trap, but you'll almost never resolve his effect in the current meta. So as a result, I figured I'd go with something more like Carnogorgon, since Carnogorgon just beats Paleozoic. So they want to use the one that Book of Moon something. They want to Book of Moon Darklaw. Cool, switch it to itself for another monster you control, like a Bahamut Shark, that when you already have Tree Toad out. Like they want Compulsory Darklaw? Nope, Compulsory Carnogorgon. Want MSC something? Make them MSC one of their own things. So overall, I think Carnogorgon is better overall since he's really good in the Paleozoic matchup. He could also be decent in the ABC matchup because of ABC Dragon's banishing effect, but then they can just beat it over. Still, closing thoughts, I think Carnogorgon is better than Castel in the current meta. For the side deck. On the side deck, I put a lot of thought into the side, more than the main and extra. Like, I never know what to do with it though, and side deck for heroes is so complicated. But at least right now, I have Double DD Crow, good against more decks than Cycler Reader. Since while Cycler Reader only hits Light Sworn and ABC, and some other, Blue Eyes and other miscellaneous light decks, this hits ABC, Blue Eyes, some Light Sworn, some DDD, Paleos. You can hit the spells and traps from Metal Foe. You can hit Norden targets. It will be really good against Zodiac Beast to hit the Morad or whatever it's called. So overall, I think DD Crow is going to be a really good side-out card going into the next format, and even currently, it's really good. Next two cards on the side, do Gamseel, just give him a turtle over anything problematic, like an opposing Darklaw and ABC Dragon. Against ABC, if they see you Gamseel game 2, you probably should side it out for game 3 just to do some mind games. Then there's some Maxis. I don't know how I feel about Maxis still in Heroes. Like, I used to main it, now it's on the side. Maxis has a strange relationship with Heroes. While it's a really good card, it's not the best in Heroes, and it might come out for something else eventually. I don't know what. Maybe Trapstun, since Heroes do have a pretty bad Paleozoic matchup because of all the traps. It's also why Carnogorgon's in there. Even though Darklaw should win the matchup, it's still confusing. Maxi helps out against Paleos a little, but Trapstone would probably be better. Speaking against Paleozoics, Cosmic Cyclone is good against them to just banish their traps before they hit grave. It's also just good against Metal Foe for going first. Or, yeah, I don't think it really matters when you have this thing against Metal Foe. Because you just banish the spells and traps. You don't use it on the scales, you use it on the spells and traps, so they don't get the pluses. And there's some 2 system down for ABC. I was playing 3 for a long time, but I think 2 is good enough. Triple anti-spell for going first against Pendulums, just going first in general against spell-heavy decks. And then 2 Typhoons for going second against Metal Foe and any other deck that relies on Pendulums. Like, I decided going second against Madaspectors. My friend played Madaspectors, and Heroes have a pretty tough time in the grind game. So just seeing the turn 1 Typhoon get rid of Pegasus, or a Spellcaster Velosh is really good in general. I think it'd also be pretty good against ABC, since you can just hit the Union Hanger on their turn when they go to end phase. But the main thing is just it's Metal Foe going second. So that's it for the deck profile. Please tell me what you think in the comment section below. Please tell me any changes that's like any changes or suggestions or just anything in general about the deck. If you like this new recording setup, please tell me as well. If you want to see any other content from the channel, such as duel videos or other deck profiles or just anything else in general, please tell me. I'm open to a lot right now, since this is still a pretty small channel. Just want to try a lot of things out. Now, please don't forget to leave a comment, drop a like, maybe hit that big red subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. See you later, guys.